Yeah, disappointing. Yeah, anytime you lose, you're disappointed. But we've been playing pretty well, and I don't think we played great today. But I want to first, obviously, credit Auburn. I thought they took the fight to us today, and that's something that we take a lot of pride in doing. We've been pretty consistent with that over the last couple weeks. Throwing the first punch and the majority of the punches. I thought the first half, they just were better than us that way. Quicker to balls, more physical. Did a great job on the glass. We were down 6 on the glass at halftime. Obviously, Keyshawn Hall had an incredible individual performance in the first half offensively. Sometimes you got to tip your cap that way. We didn't do a good enough job guarding his 3 or keeping him off the line. But I just feel like with it's a long season. There's ups and downs, and we've been through a lot of those already this season. I think this team, and obviously it starts with me. Anytime you get to a point where you think you got things rolling a little bit, and the moment you feel like they're on the right track, you get punched in the mouth, and that's what happened to us today. So, again, credit to Auburn. We got some things we gotta clean up before we get on the road to South Carolina next week.
Well, I think Tommy kind of insinuated that some of the respect that this team has gotten from the national media may have impacted them from a complacency standpoint. Have you sensed that, and how do you, given you faced that in the past, how do you correct that moving forward?
Yeah, I think it was a little human nature in the sense of, I thought we had great prep after the LSU game. We're pretty consistent in the way we go about, the things we do in our program. Thought we had a good practice yesterday. I thought we were locked in this morning. So, maybe that showed up when we started the game. Just, hey, we're out here. We got a great crowd. Things are just going to go our way. And they certainly did in the first half. And, again, it was similar to Missouri last year here at home. There's a lot of really good teams in this league. Auburn's one of them. They got really good talent. And we pride ourselves on being the mentally and physically tougher team. I don't think we were either of those tonight. And again, we did not respond quickly enough to their early punches, and we just couldn't get back on track in the first half.
What disappointed you the most just about how today's game went?
That we lost.
What do you credit Auburn for being able to just stop Alex Condon tonight?
Yeah, I thought they did a good. Well, they had a different game plan than most teams. They just weren't guarding him on the perimeter, plugging up the paint. Obviously, he's not shooting the ball great right now, and we weren't able to take advantage of that. I was more disappointed with our inability to get him down low, but they were showing bodies anytime we threw it inside. Again, where his game disappointed me was the 4 turnovers. You're not going to score it every night. Not going to be great that way, but you can't turn the ball over 4 times when you're a guy that we run a majority of our offense through, and he just got outplayed tonight.
You tied the game at 62, and did you expend so much energy getting to that point that there was just a letdown afterward?
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it, and dug ourselves an 18-point deficit, crawled all the way back to take a 2-point lead, get a tough reversal on the goaltend. And, they made a couple tough shots after that. But we had dug ourselves too big of a hole. The defense in the first half and obviously the free throw shooting, as I explained to the team, if we had made our free throws at a decent rate up until that point, instead of it going from 2 to being tied with their ball, it would have been from 6 to 4. And we can still play with a little bit of a lead and a little bit of confidence. But, yeah, I do think a big part of it was the fact that we had to expend so much energy getting back in the ballgame.
What were some offensive adjustments that you may have made at halftime to take into the second half and hit the big run?
Again, we had to value the basketball a little more. I thought we didn't do a good enough job down on the block of handling the double teams and the digs. We didn't shoot the ball well enough. There were a number of things that we had to clean up, from the first half. And again, in the second half, we did a decent job. That way we turned it over less. I thought we were playing with a little more purpose, but we still missed some open shots and we missed our free throws.
What do you think you can learn from a team like Auburn, like packing the paint as much as they did today? How can you carry that forward if teams kind of try to implement that?
Yeah, we've got to find ways to counteract it and do a better job of, taking advantage of being wide open, on the perimeter and wide open in the middle of the floor. I think that's going to be a hard way to live for teams to play us that way. I think more often than not, we're going to be able to take advantage of that better than we did today. But again, they're quick, they're long, and they did a good job, counteracting our bigs inside today.
Where you want to keep the turnovers down 17 in this game, how problematic was that?
We had 11. Yeah. We did a decent enough job taking care of the basketball. I think the biggest thing was the free throws. We left some points on the board, missed some open shots when we needed to. And again, our first half effort on Keyshawn Hall, I think it was he deserves a lot of credit for the shots that he was making, but we have to find a way to prevent him from getting 23 in the first half. Now, he did a better job in the second half. He only scored 1. So we were capable. We just didn't do a good enough job showing bodies, going vertical, sent him to the line, and gave him threes in the first half. Yep. Thanks.